what it do, and what the business is. Welcome to the Floss Mode Show. I am Floss Mode. Today's topic, we're going to talk about the man, Bobby Brown, and New Edition. I'll get to my story later about how I feel about Bobby Brown and New Edition and all that. But there's a lot of things going on, and the topic speaks for itself. Was New Edition jealous of Bobby Brown that as soon as he left the group, he came out with his biggest album and married Whitney Houston. So y'all stay tuned, all right?
Unspoken, things that he felt prior to when he left and all, none of that stuff ever being addressed.
When we came together for the home again album, it was the right time, but the wrong attitudes, because everybody had their egos that were, I know I had mine. And plus it was just, I was crazy at that point. I believe I was married. It was like I felt I was in another bracket. I was in another realm than doing the home again tour, but missing them again. Like I said, missing them just made me just say, let's go, let's do it. And boy, that was the tour from hell.
The fight definitely took place, and that home again tour was just such a disaster all the way around. I mean, there was so much madness going on. I had maybe 3 to 4 people on my bus. Everybody had their own bus. And you could see 15, 20, 30 people sometimes. But I mean, every day there was new people coming around that needed tickets or passes, and you kept going, who knows all these people? It was insane. Everybody lost their mind.
The way I did what I did, I was trying to prove a point that, a lot of the ticket sales are not just New Edition. A lot of ticket sales are Bobby Brown also. So, in certain occasions, I would not show up at all or show up late and go out there, do what I do, and not care about what anybody else thought,
All right, so, I always wondered this as a kid. I had the chance to go see New Edition when they was at the Forum in Inglewood many, many years ago. It was New Edition, it was the Jets, and it was Morris Day and the Time. They had kicked Bobby Brown out the group around this time, and then I remember at the show they invited him back on stage. He came back on stage. Bobby Brown wasn't with none of the bullshit. Bobby Brown wasn't with none of the bullshit, the bubblegum, the pop bubblegum sound. He was on his own shit as a kid. And so, I always wonder, like, was New Edition, did New Edition catch a full bar? You know what I'm saying? The fact of they kicked Bobby Brown out the group, and then as soon as they kicked him out the group, he signed to the same label that New Edition was signed to, and they put out his solo record. And I can recall that, I think Ronnie DeVoe was like, he went up in the office and he seen Bobby Brown's promotional shit for his new album, My Prerogative. So he's like, I gotta listen to it, and got a full bar. Not only did he came with the best album that sold out of the world, but the fact of he got with Whitney Houston, that was so far-fetched. Nobody even thought about, Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston. And the first thing they came up with the allegations is that Bobby Brown was basically being in charge of Whitney Houston's demise as far as her using drugs when she really was the one, you know what I'm saying? And then they started indulging and all that kind of shit. But I'm gonna tell you something, at this time, when Bobby Brown was out, My Prerogative, Every Little Step I Take, and all that type of shit, there was nobody better. There was nobody, he was serving them. He was serving them. Left this group, got back on top, married Whitney Houston, you know what I'm saying? They make a lot of jokes about Bobby Brown, talking about he was the king of R&B, rocks and blunts and all that type of shit. But I feel that Bobby Brown, as a youngster, was on his own path. He wasn't with the bubblegum shit. He got tired of the candy girls and all of that way out weirdo shit that they did as a kid. It made a lot of money, and they got rates for their money. You know what I mean? Maurice Starr and a lot of these people was dipping in these kids' money. I think they gave them a box of Kool-Aid and one Puma shoe. You feel what I'm saying? The shit was crazy. But big up to Bobby Brown. Shout out to Bobby Brown. Shout out to Ron DeVoe. I know them. BBD, they used to come up to Rogers Park up in Inglewood in LA and come up there and play ball and shit. So shout out to Cuddy Max, my nigga from Soul Train. Lou Ski, they hang with him too. So shout out to New Edition. They was one of my favorite groups, and I feel like New Edition's biopic was on the money. Definitely on the money. I was in Tupac's All Eyes on Me biopic, which the movie didn't do as well, is because of the fact of it didn't have Mrs. Afeni Shakur's her blessing. And so basically somebody that handles her business for her, that handles her paperwork or whatever, they had tricked Miss Shakur into signing off. So that's how they was able to make that movie. You know, and they depicted a lot of things of, you know, Jada Pinkett and Pac being together and all this sorts of shit when they wasn't. But you know, shout out to all the biopics. I love the Whitney Houston biopic too. It's definitely an A1 Yola. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Y'all hit that like. Y'all let me know about this shit. Y'all like Bobby Brown. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about when he left New Edition. I think the niggas was mad. They was hella mad. You know what I'm saying? The nigga with the gap in his teeth and the big forehead was out there serving them. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that came to my page. I appreciate y'all. Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. You know, I can get on here and talk about Diddy and all this sort of type of shit. I'm cool on that. To let y'all know that that's a smear campaign too for Diddy. He's not no angel, but at the same token, this is a smear campaign that's going on for Diddy. He had pissed the wrong people off, the higher ups. He had pissed them off, and this is what comes with that. Basically, he came out with Ciroc. Everybody thought that Ciroc was Diddy's, which it wasn't. He didn't even own Ciroc, but he had pumped it and pushed it so much that you thought that Ciroc was his. So then when he tried to come out with his own liquor company, just put through the same people, they did some faulty shit. He took them to court. They lost. Instead of them spending the money on giving him back his money, they spent it on the smear campaign. That's why you see the police and the allegations. Allegations are allegations until you are proven guilty. So always remember that. When Diddy was speaking about black excellence and toasting and all that, the white folks ain't ready to see that shit right now. So I'm just keeping it 100, keeping it all the way real. Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share if you can. Floss Mode Show, I'm gone.